All right, hey, what's up, everybody? This is Tim from the Tim and Mike Show. Welcome,
Hey,
welcome,
how are you?
well, welcome you to a fun-filled episode with lots of
How's it
laughs.
going? How have you been this week?
I'm all right, man. We're working, busy, busy, busy.
Great.
Yeah, that's about it, man.
Keeping your
Hanging in there.
mind
What's up?
keeping your mind going.
Oh yeah, of course, always. I mean, almost too much. Like I need to stop doing that. I'm having
You
an
need a break,
aneurysm.
huh?
But I currently have a lot going on. Yes. I just started a new project with one of my freelances and like total writer's block and total design block. I don't know what I'm gonna do. So I'm just
Just like rip somebody off.
no,
Probably.
no.
Older,
I mean,
like somebody that's not around anymore.
well, I mean,
Honestly.
no. But I
So
just
they
need to
can't
keep
trace
looking
it.
through. I'm just designing a newsletter, and it's super simple, and I'm just overthinking it. So I
Yeah,
don't know.
sure. Yeah, what you think is maybe not the best is probably
Well, it's
very good.
possible. I don't
So,
know, and it's hard. I mean,
well, yeah, that's what makes it better. Because you don't think it's good, you keep working on it until it's just no time's left, and then
exactly
you turn it
until
in, and they're like, "Hey,
it's a
that's
deadline.
awesome." But if you weren't like that, it wouldn't be as good, probably.
That's true. That's true. But it's the journey, right?
Yeah,
Um, yeah. Other
yeah,
than that, man, it's good. Things are good. What are you about you?
good. It's working. I just today's my first day back after the Thanksgiving holiday,
It's
so
Tuesday. Really?
yeah, I
Oh, you
took
took it
Monday
off.
off.
Okay.
Yeah, and so I had a nice long
No, yeah. You sounds
holiday
like you did.
Wednesday, Wednesday through half a day Wednesday through Tuesday. So pretty good. But yeah, other than that, same old. I got some opposite of you. I got some
Yeah.
relaxed time.
I did. I did a little bit. I got like Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving out there. By the way, I got some chill time on Thanksgiving. I mean, I didn't work too much on that day, and then Friday is a blank. I don't even know what I did anymore. So I don't know. So
Cool.
all right, man. Well, let's get to it. What have you been watching over this long holiday weekend?
Okay, so I have some good. So I have some good shows this week. I'm going to save the best one of the
Okay.
three for the last. I'm going to go with the one I liked least out of the three, but still liked. I'm only bringing up movies that I liked. So I watched a lot of movies. So bodies, bodies,
Bodies.
bodies. Yes. Okay. So that's number one. I mean, you
Yeah.
can look that up
What
on
is
IMDb. So that's got one of the actors you'll know for sure is Pete
Oh
Davidson in it,
God. Yeah.
and he's a minor character in it. The reason I like this movie so much is because of the ending. I, I love the ending of this movie. I was somewhat trying to figure out what's going on, but it involves these group of kids who I guess get together every so often, group of friends. They're a little older now. One estranged, one and her girlfriend go to this really big house that Pete Davidson's character owns with a couple different groups, and they get into some partying, and then one of their friends shows up dead. And then the movie just takes off from there, and it's crazy. And I don't want to tell you too much because honestly, I think that you'll like this movie just for the
Okay. Don't
end.
tell me the end because it seems like it's the only part of the movie that's worth the heck.
No, I mean, but you obviously have to watch the whole thing. I mean, it's good though. It's good. It's not bad. It's a horror movie, so it's good though. So it's got some thrills throughout the whole entire thing. It's your classic party scene horror movie, which I am a
Okay.
fan of.
Is that a subgenre of horror movies that I'm not aware of the party scene? Okay.
I think it is. I think it is. There's the group. So there's this set of horror movies where it involves teenagers and a large group of friends that are partying
All right.
and getting
Okay. Yeah.
annihilated
So that's a lot of '80s
one,
slasher right
one
there.
by
Sure.
one. Lots of horror movies like that. Yeah, yeah, even the newer ones, and I like those ones. I like that one because you get a little bit of everything. You get that party atmosphere, everybody's having a good time, unassuming, and then they all die one way. So, ending is great. Watch it, check it out. Recommend. What do we got on the
It's got a 6.3,
IMDb?
so it's not horrible.
6.3. That's a pretty good rating. No, that's a pretty good rating considering there's some movies that I think are great that have 6 ratings.
Okay, well, you know what? Everybody get out, give it a shot. They want to. You recommend it, so I think if you give it a shot.
Give it a shot.
All right, what else you got else for us?
So the second movie I watched was one from my childhood, one of my favorites. It's got Tim Roth and Tupac Shakur, and
Oh.
it's called Gridlocked. Have you seen that, Tim?
Gridlock. I've seen Gridlock.
So this movie is about actually 3 heroin addicts on New Year's Eve night, and they're partying and laying on the couch, and it's the balls dropping, and Tupac looks over and noticing that his girl is unresponsive on the couch. Who is Zoe Saldana, I believe, is the girl. Early role for her.
No way. She would be way too young for that.
Early role. I believe that's her name. What's her name?
No, it's
I've seen her in a lot of stuff.
It's Thandwe Newton. She plays.
Yeah.
Vicky.
What is she? She's in a bunch of stuff. She
was
actress.
in Mission Impossible 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, bunch of stuff.
So, anyways, they are running around all night. They get her admitted into the hospital, and they decide that since she's OD, that they're gonna get their shit together and they're gonna detox. So this whole movie is basically them trying to get into a detox facility and going through all the struggles. There's one scene in particular where they're in an alleyway, and basically the only way to be admitted at this point is to go to the ER for injury. So Tim Roth is shot at this point in the arm, and so Tupac pulls out this tiny little pocket knife with this really dull blade, and he gets Tim Roth to stab him in the stomach. And the first stab, he's looks like he's in so much pain. He looks down, and his line is "You didn't even break the skin." And I remember when I was a kid, I just laughed my ass off at that part, and I like that movie. It's a really good movie. It's a really cool movie too. Like watching it again now, being older, I really like how this movie played out, beginning to end. The way it ends is amazing as well. The way they line up the characters. She's outside on a payphone, and they're inside the hospital at that point. So roles have completely reversed. They're sitting in the waiting room waiting to be seen, and the camera pans to her out on the payphone calling them, telling them that she wants to get clean. And what do they think about it? Leaving a message on the machine, not realizing that they had been through it all night. Great movie. Watch it if you haven't seen it in a while. Being older, I really appreciate that movie.
Okay.
It's a good movie.
Okay.
It doesn't get a lot of play. What has that got on the ratings?
On the
6.9 out of 10.
On the IMDb, we've got
6.9 out of 10. That's not bad.
6.9 out of 10. Another 6.9. You're hovering in the sixes today.
Yeah, well, I like that movie though. I recommend that one more so than Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. That's an old one. I don't think it gets a lot of play. Tupac's not a bad actor.
That's the thing. Tupac was a very good actor.
Two Tupac movies this weekend, but I'm not bringing up the second.
You want a little Tupac run, huh? Yeah, I haven't watched the movie forever. I'll probably give it a shot.
Check it out. I highly recommend. And the last movie that I watched, and I recommend this one above all, it's called The Infernal Machine. And we watched the trailer on our podcast a couple weeks ago, and I saw it pop up on my streaming service, and I decided to give it a check.
The Guy Pearce film.
That is one of my newest favorite movies of all time.
Oh, really? That's a
really
big
good
one.
Movie.
Okay.
Really good movie. Reminded me a lot of Memento for some reason.
Yeah.
Not like it's anything like that, but just the kind of the creativity behind it all. Your buddy from Black Phone is in it. The father, a really good actor, Jeremy, I don't know, Stevens, I think is his name.
Let's see.
I believe is his name, and he's a good actor. He's in it, and
yeah, Jeremy Davies.
But
is he actually doing a good job? Because he's a really good actor. And
He's in the movie.
He was kind of
I
bad.
won't say
in Black
anything
Phone.
else.
Okay,
He's in the movie.
let's see who else.
You will like the movie. It is a great thriller.
What's the runtime
Great.
on it?
Great thriller. This movie made me remember that I love thrillers almost just as much as I like horror movies, I believe.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think
I think thrillers are great, really well done thrillers, especially.
yes, yeah.
So I'm not going to say anything about this movie.
Okay.
Not one.
So this is a big recommendation
You
from
watch
Mike.
this
This is huge, everybody. So
It's one of the best movies I've seen in a while.
hey, there you go. Go watch Infernal Machine.
What is it? What's the rating on there?
We've got a 5.2 out of 10. Let's go see the Rotten Tomatoes score.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean anything, right? Can it go up as people watch it and vote?
Yeah. It's a moving target. But just look at
Because when did that come out?
just recently, must have been.
I liked it. I don't care what they say.
Okay, hey, I love it. The Infernal Machine. Yeah, I wanted to give it a shot. I hadn't seen it on the streaming service yet, and
Can you tell me who the
46.
director, what the director's done?
yeah, let's take a look at the director. Let's go.
Does it say how many votes?
13 reviews on the critics tomato meter, but the audience score is given it a 74. So
Yeah.
with 50 ratings, so that's good. That's good. When you see that tomato meter and that splat, that's critics.
Oh, critics can suck it. I liked it.
The director's name is Andrew Hunt, and he.
Kind of reminded me of The Game.
Oh wow, with Michael Douglas.
Michael Douglas, yeah.
Great movie.
And Sean Penn as his brother for 5 minutes.
This is his first major thing. He's done a bunch of shorts. He's done a TV series. I guess he's done an episode or two of a TV series, but most of his credits are shorts.
So this is his first big movie.
Yeah, he's
huh?
done 30. He seems like he's a writer turned director. He's got a lot of writing credits. So
Well, that's why I like this movie. I like this movie. I like this movie for the story. It is great.
Okay.
Watch the movie. It's a thriller, man. So you're gonna be on that ride, and you're just gonna have to see what happens. And that's why I like thrillers so much, especially ones that are done well, where you don't know what's coming.
yeah,
Because honestly, I had a theory of this movie, and I believe I expressed that theory when we watched the trailer for it.
yeah. I don't think you were too stoked about it, honestly.
No, I was. It was just that I thought that he was.
He was what?
Stop it. Nothing. I'm stopping.
Oh, you were about to spoil something. Okay.
Well, that's what we do. Now, what are you doing here, Tim? Watching Judge Judy?
Yes. Yeah. Usually while you talk, I tend to watch Judge Judy.
So those are the 3 movies that I saw
Okay.
this week, and I recommend all 3.
Okay, nice, awesome, cool. Me, I didn't
So
watch
you watch-
anything. I was kidding. I did. I watched some stuff. I finished. Okay, so let me get this out of the way. I finished The Office as my rewatch, and
Yeah,
I feel like I have my life back again because I was all consumed in The Office again. But
they can do that.
mhm. But after that, I started the new season of The Crown. Okay, I'm 3 episodes
Okay.
in. I think so. So the show is got. I love this show. First of all, I've been a big fan of the show since season 1.
Yeah, you were talking about it a couple. months ago.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of it. I think, but as far as this season's going so far, granted, I'm only.
Where is it? Since Di's passed away this season.
Well, not yet. So
But this
every
is
season is a decade, right?
Right.
So kind of the catch up is the first season, the 50s and when late 40s to the 50s whenever she becomes the queen. Then there's the 60s season, then there's the 70s season, then there's the 80s season, and now we're in the 90s season. So everything in the 90s is happening. So it starts from the early 90s on. And so Princess Diana is very much alive, and she's actually still. Her and Charles are still married. That divorce didn't happen until later. But yeah, so you definitely you can see the dissension in the family, and they're playing off.
He's had his affair already.
Well, he's he was always seeing Parker Bowles like that.
No, I'm saying, was it publicized yet?
No. So it starts getting. The book is just coming out. Her book has just been written. You know, the ghost written book. Anyways, so it's again, it's a well written show. It's a well directed show. I will say so far, granted, I'm only three episodes in. I do like this season a lot, but I think it's the weaker of the seasons of all the seasons. But it just tells you it's a strong show. I'm finding Jonathan Pryce is the person playing the Prince Philip, and he is carrying the show right now. Brilliant guy. I don't know if you know who Jonathan Pryce is.
No. Yeah, maybe I do.
Well, let me take a picture because you're gonna know who he is as soon as I show the picture.
Oh yeah.
He is killing it.
Yeah,
he's carrying the season. The woman that
well, maybe the end of this season is going to be your big events, right? I mean,
well, I know Die will die. I don't know how they're going to cover it because the writer of the show, he's the one that wrote The Queen with Helen Mirren, and that's what she was nominated. And that whole story is about after post Diana's death, right? And so I don't know how much they'll cover that. I'm sure they will cover it. I like that they're focusing on the marriage and the dissension in the marriage, and they're almost comparing Elizabeth and Philip's marriage and Charles and Diana's marriage in this weird kind of comparison. How this marriage, you know, despite all things, that Elizabeth and Philip were pretty happily married, considering as two British women people could be. But I mean, it's interesting how they're just comparing the two and kind of coinciding. The third episode was all about the Al Fayed family. Of course, the son Dodi Fayed, who was seeing Diana after the divorce and was killed with her in that fatal car crash. So they're focused on the last episode I just watched was all about the Al Fayed family and the rise to success they had and how much they wanted to be part of the royal family. So, but yeah, good show. Loving it so far. Really enjoying it. The next thing I watched the documentary series on Netflix called Pepsi, Where's My Jet?
I saw that. That's interesting. So they did the disclaimer at the bottom?
Yeah, that but no, they never did. Not until later on. Like it was later on after the guy said, "Hey, I got the points. I want my jet." Then they when I can added it.
No, they took it away.
No, they added it. They always had it in Canada. In Canada's it was always there. But the US the US one had the US. Okay, so what happened is back in the olden times, television commercials, you had a bunch of contests happening, and it was like everything was points driven at some point for some reason. Anyways,
even certain times now.
Yeah, I guess you can do it now. I just don't pay much attention.
Marlboro did it. Collect Marlboro points.
Yeah, Marlboro points, stuff like that.
Coke does the bottle cap thing.
Yeah,
still.
Yeah. So, anyways, Pepsi did this thing. They had this big promotion, because they were kind of catering to the Generation X and Millennial generation, all these kind of different generations that Coke wasn't getting, and so Pepsi was advertising toward them. Well, one of the commercials they did, the kid got 7 million Pepsi points, and he came to school in a Harrier jet. Is what happened. And so what happens
in the commercial?
So what happens?
So in the commercial, does it say at the bottom?
Not the original airing of the commercial. They go through that. The original airing of the commercial, they didn't. So what they did, they did not have a disclaimer. What the original airing of the commercial had 7 million Pepsi points. And so there was a kid and a kid came up with his plan, found a financier, and they together figured out that it would cost about like $1.24 million to get enough Pepsi to get the Pepsi points to have Pepsi buy you a Harrier jet, which was like $500 million. So it's like, so the financier is like, if this actually works, it's well worth the money, right?
Right, because he'll cash that in for a huge
right,
profit.
or have a Harrier jet.
Or have a Harrier jet.
So, anyways, so they get these points, and then Pepsi says, "Oh, it was just a joke. We didn't think anybody would actually do that." All this stuff, and it turned out to this big court case, and this big deal in the '90s that.
So then the trailer's misleading.
Yes, so that's the idea. The commercials, it's false advertising. They sued for false advertising. So
okay, but the trailer for the show is misleading.
Yes, the trailer for the show is
because
misleading.
when you're watching the trailer for this particular show that you're watching, it shows the disclaimer at the bottom, and then it shows the lawsuit stuff.
Right, that's early.
The original contest was you could actually win the Harrier jet.
No, never could.
So
they never said it, but they never said. So what happened that
what could you win in this contest?
It was like jackets and stuff like that, little stuff,
normal stuff.
Yeah, and so wait, one second. But the thing is that so the way they advertised it was 7 million Pepsi points, and then he says who takes the bus, right? You get a Harrier jet, and they never had a disclaimer. In Canada's they did, but in the U.S. they didn't. And so the original artist who made the ad, and they were screenshotting the ad, had it at like 700 million, which would have made it super unattainable, right? It would have been out of anybody's reach to get that many Pepsi points. But the execs at Pepsi were like, no, I don't think. It just seems unattainable. Bring that number down. If lose a zero. That looks visually more appealing. And so,
would it end up at 7 million?
Right. So what happens when this kid comes with these points? They put the ad with the 700 million. They put the other ad out, and then eventually they add a disclaimer at the bottom.
Okay, so they changed even the amount of points you would need to win the jet.
Yeah.
So what ends up happening? Did they settle?
He could have settled. He didn't settle. He didn't take the settlement, and so he kept the case going. Hired a bunch of political activists and stuff like that, and still did not get a Harrier jet. After all said and done, he didn't get anything out of it.
Okay, so what would he have settled for?
I think his settlement would have been in the like $1 million or $2 million.
That's what you should have done, buddy.
Yeah, well, he wanted a jet. Anyways, so that was good. It was okay. I mean, I'm gonna say that it was okay. And then I watched. What else did I watch? I forgot what I had it. I just remembered I was watching. Oh yeah, I started watching this, and I didn't start, and I do not recommend it. But I watched about 3 episodes of it. But I watched that Blockbuster series on Netflix.
I saw that.
It's a little poop.
What's that about?
It's a real pooper. It's the last. It's a sitcom based around the last Blockbuster, and Blockbuster's around them closing down and all this stuff, and they're left on their own to run the store and all this stuff.
Oh, you didn't like that?
No, it's not very good. It's just not well written. It's not a very well written.
It's a kind of a cool premise.
It could be, but it wasn't executed well at all. It was very very softball jokes. Like nothing was really good. Nothing was really fun about it or original. So
it's on Prime Video.
No, it's on Netflix.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's what I watched. Keep you posted on The Crown for next time. I think we should go ahead and talk about our movie of the week. What do you think?
Let's do it.
All right, everybody. Let's talk about the movie of the week this week. We watched a movie that we are kind of preparing for the sequel, right? We're preparing for this one, so we wanted to get ready, and we watched a movie. And what movie did you watch, Mike?
I watched The Avatar. Jimmy Cameron.
Jimmy Cams. Yeah, man.
Yeah, good actors in that.
That movie's super good. Sam Worthington's in it. Sigourney Weaver.
Okay.
Um,
Looks like you can already buy tickets for Avatar: Way of Water if you want.
oh yeah, they're already out. Okay, hey, go buy your tickets for Avatar: Way of the Water. Please remember us,
Looks like
James Cameron, as we advertise for your
We got
movie.
some show times up here. We got 3:30 on
December 15th, I believe it's out.
December
Right?
15th. 3:30 on 3D IMAX.
Yeah, we're gonna go see it actually in 3D
Yeah.
that weekend.
Go check it out. 3D 4DX.
Mike didn't hear me,
5
everybody.
o'clock.
You didn't hear what we
Regal
talked
Lone
about.
Star.
Mike didn't hear
When
me.
is the 15th? What is the 15th?
It's a Thursday. We're not going that day. We're gonna go that weekend.
Oh, we got to go see the 4DX then because it's out in 4DX at the Regal.
Are we gonna do 40X? Okay, that's fine. Anyways, we'll
to.
do 40X. But yeah, okay. So let's talk about the original Avatar movie. Let's talk about the basis of this all.
2009.
Huh?
Came out in 2009.
Yeah, and super cutting edge. It's
Very.
this weird phenomenon because you can root the base of this movie to a bunch of things. You know, there's a lot of comparisons to Dances with Wolves. There's a lot of comparison to a lot of different things, but for what it was a brilliantly made movie, and there's no way you really gotta. James Cameron does this, man. He's a really good filmmaker. Whether you agree with the plot or whether you agree with how the story, the movie itself is well constructed, well made. I think start to finish. I watched the extended edition, which is the 4-hour edition.
I watched.
Did you watch the one with the stuff on Earth when you see his brother?
Well, yeah.
Okay.
No, I watched one. So there's one scene that I don't think I saw before. I did watch an extended version, but mine was not 4 hours.
There's three different extended versions.
Okay. Well, I watched whatever was available, but I did watch an extended. But there was a scene that I hadn't seen in the first one where they were examining some kind of. It was just kind of a random scene in there. They were just kind of walking through like some battle scene, some of the troops.
Did that version have him the scenes on Earth?
Yeah, it started with him on Earth.
Because the theatrical version does not start with him on Earth.
What does that one start? How does that one start?
It starts with him on the way to Pandora.
Oh, okay. Okay, so then I did see the new stuff. Okay, I thought that was new. I like that.
Cameron made a choice to cut all the Earth stuff out because he wanted you to feel away from Earth. He never wanted you to feel at home until you felt at home, right? Until the story eventually progressed and got you there.
One thing I like about this movie is the idea of an entire planet connected.
Right. Synergy.
I love that.
And
I love that. I mean, that's so awesome. It's like it's like a really like an idealistic view of maybe like an ideal world.
Right, a utopia where you're connected to everything. Sure, yeah.
Yeah, and you have everything you need, and everybody is one, and you know what I mean? There's just no disrespect, no murder, no crime, no, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you can really you don't even have to empathize. You can literally feel and the other person's emotions, like, you know what I mean? Like, even from the way they connect through their little tentacles.
The tails. Yeah.
I like that.
Well,
I forgot how much I like
the idea is it's a kind of a metaphor for the relationship of nature that the Native Americans had, and us as colonists definitely came in there and and that's the big metaphor. No matter what you want to compare it to, it's the metaphor of colonizing, and removing people from their natural habitat.
Well, I mean, that is essentially
the story, right?
Exactly what it is. Yeah. But I mean, that's what I'm saying, though. Is this cool? I mean, obviously, Indians didn't have that.
They didn't have the tail.
Physical connection,
sure.
But yeah, I mean, obviously, anybody living off the land like that,
right? The spiritual respect and the connection can be there, sure.
Yeah, spiritually, yeah, exactly. And I like that. I think that's very cool. And this coming into this one especially, getting to see the aspects of the planet that we got to see, the floating in the clouds, that was really sweet, where the instruments were going crazy on the planes.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
The big animals but you get to see land animals and a lot of air stuff towards the end. And then in this newer one coming out, I'm excited to see the water aspect of the planet, because we've only really kind of touched, their little community, and obviously that was 100% destroyed.
Right. Yeah. And so now
So,
I don't know. Obviously we drop in a few years later in the Pandora,
right.
and yeah, there's definitely some rebuilding that's happened, and we get to see it. We get to see a lot more of Pandora, and I think that's going to be super cool. I'm excited. I love the world.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Was the whole thing with this movie that he shot everything with an actual 3D camera?
Right. So that's what I wanted to bring up. Is
and it was like the beginning of the entire 3D, because I remember 3D when I was a kid made you throw up.
Yeah. So that's what it was, because it was not well done.
No.
But well, this was
At least it made me
the
sick.
nice thing about this 3D is that he did it subtly. It wasn't because remember in that whole time frame, 3D was a big thing, and everybody owned a 3D TV. They'd be like throwing stuff at the screen, and crazy, right? It was atmosphere. It was
fire,
it was just sparks and
dropping
those little things that float in the air, and
that was awesome.
Yeah, and so it really
it
was just a tool to immerse you even more into the film, and it's like, and it was so successful. 3D, so successful.
Dude, that was amazing.
It was so good.
First time I saw that, the little the fire floating in the air. I mean, like you said, very subtle. It didn't have to be like a giant dinosaur flying off the screen.
Yeah.
Right. And because it can make you motion sick in some cases.
Sure, it can.
Too much, and I like that. Just those little subtle features are kind of like you're almost like you're like sitting out in a play in the middle of a forest watching.
Right. So I remember I remember watching it for the first time in 3D, and watching it and kind of looking around, and as best you could, because you have to be in the screen, right, to get the 3D effect, but you can kind of still stay in line of vision. And it just felt like the sparks were everywhere in the room, and just you were immersed. You were in the scene, like you were there, right. And it was really, man, well done.
That's gonna be awesome. So if we see that 4DX, then obviously they'll spritz us with some water spray.
We're gonna go
when they're doing the
4DX
stuff,
for the way of water.
We're just gonna leave drenched.
Yeah, I'll bring my bathing suit.
Just constantly spritz to get those guys in the black suits running around filling up the water tanks.
No lie. Yeah.
Water for this movie.
Oh man.
Take a flood insurance policy.
So yeah, good.
So have you seen some of the making of it, where they're filming in these giant water tanks?
No, I've been staying away from featurettes on this one. I'm kind of, I want to go in there pretty blind. Cool. Trailer wise, I've been I've watched a few trailers that we watched here. That's it. But I've wanted to be real kind of subtle about it, and kind of, I really want to go approach this because I remember how much I really liked the first one, and then watching it again, and I hadn't watched it in about maybe 3-4 years, and I remember always watching it every now and again, but I remember how much I love this movie. It's just so dang good.
Yeah.
So
it is good.
So
yeah, I watched it the other day. I mean, before I watched it for the show, but I had watched it.
Oh, you'd watched it recently. Oh, okay.
More recent, not so recent. But I didn't sit there and watch the whole thing. I just put it on real quick to watch something. One of those. Yeah. So, but yeah, great movie. Definitely recommend.
Yeah, for surely recommending it. Like I said, go see The Way of Water. Avatar: The Way of Water. December 16th is the official release date. 15th, you can get tickets for the Thursday release. Go watch it in 3D. And obviously we haven't seen it. We don't have that kind of access. We're not cool. We have, not enough clout. Yeah. But
I'd say at least 3D is the way to go.
Yeah, I just hope they keep that approach to 3D that they had in the first one. And if they did, 3D will not disappoint you at all in this.
Dude, he took what, 13 years to make this?
Yeah. Yeah, it was a long time.
Like this movie's been like I'm. He's not that. He doesn't seem the type of guy to make things not well thought out.
Sure, I agree with
Take
that.
his time and stuff, and not rushing it. It's obviously not. I mean, obviously he's going to get paid.
Well, yeah,
If he
but at
didn't,
this point in
his contract's
at
probably.
this point in James Cameron's career, money doesn't matter.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's obviously it's not about money. If you take 13 years to do a sequel that I'm sure they were begging him for.
I don't think
Immediately.
it's ever been about money. The way the guy makes movies is so good. Like, look at all his movies. I mean, let's do it. Let's go through his movies, and let's talk about the movies that we liked from James Cameron and don't like. Okay?
I think I've seen probably all of his
I
movies.
know I have.
Well, you like
I
Titanic.
do like Titanic. It's a well-made movie. So
That's your favorite.
let's see. Avatar 4, 3, 4, and 5.
Oh, he made
No,
those?
you know they're making there's 5 movies he's making.
Tim, I'm not going to be a 100-year-old man when I watch Avatar
It's
5.
2028 is when Avatar 5 is supposed to come out.
Bullshit.
I think he made them all. I think that's what the 13 years has been. He's been making them all. And so
Okay,
he's editing,
all right.
yeah. Let's see. Okay, so
2028. Jesus Christ. I'd love to be at his house and watch all those one night.
his first
fuck off.
major film he was a writer on. Let's see his directing. Let's see the movies he directed, okay? 1984, The Terminator. All right, and then he did
Yeah.
Aliens.
I'm sure everybody's seen
He
that.
did Aliens. The Abyss is an amazing movie. If you have not seen The Abyss, go see The Abyss. But it's another Industrial Light and Magic gem that you look at that movie and you see that where the technology is going to give you Terminator 2. Then he did Terminator 2 Judgment Day. He did True Lies. I actually didn't know he directed True Lies, heads up.
No?
I didn't-
Now lie on the bed and close your eyes.
I didn't know he directed it. Okay. But then Titanic, of course, was great.
You've seen every James Cameron movie.
I think I have. Avatar. I have.
Yeah.
And I've liked them all. So.
Yeah. Yeah, they're all good.
But all right. I think that's enough about Avatar. Go see the new Avatar Way of the Water. And we'll go talk about some new stuff. News. Well, hi there. Now that we're in the news. Hello.
Is it?
We're in the news now.
We're in the news.
We are in the news. Okay. Okay, we're gonna start with a Nick Cage movie.
Okay. Nick Cage fan.
I want you to understand how good a woman your mama was. She took Colton Briggs, the coldest killer that I've ever met, and she turned him into a family man.
My mama's dead now.
Coming in one way or another.
Tell me the names of the men who did this.
As long as that little girl is alive,
Make him talk like
there's
that,
no room
mister.
for vengeance.
You're protecting a killer.
From another killer.
Can you teach me how to shoot?
Both of you put your hands behind your back.
Now, Briggs,
Especially that Rossi.
My father wants your gun.
I'll blow her brains all over this valley.
You ain't scared of nothing.
If Briggs decides he's coming, Colton Briggs is coming.
Sound like he's the one who's scared.
My whole life, I'd seen fear in the eyes of every man I ever met.
Please don't kill me.
Let's do this the old way.
Is my father still a good man?
You boys woke up the devil.
So I'm blind watching this with you. That looks awesome.
Yeah, but you gotta be careful with Nicky Cage.
Well, a heads up, dude. It looks like it's a good old Western, right? I mean,
It does. It does.
You know?
Looks like your typical bad gun guy gone good.
Yeah, going to revenge his
Murdered
wife
wife.
killing because his
your
wife got
typical-
his wife got him gone good, and so now he's gone bad. Guess what?
Your typical bad guy gone good. Murdered wife scenario.
Murder wife scenario. You know, the old bad guy gone good. All right, next show, I guess. I don't know. I guess it's just show. This one is another Yellowstone spinoff. So, let's watch.
You'd be Mrs. Dutton.
I would.
Seems we're neighbors. I've acquired the Strafford Ranch.
Well, this is the Yellowstone, and you have no rights here.
Jacob, you can't start a range war.
Range war's already started.
How much land do you want?
I want the whole valley.
Either we take this fight to them, or it's coming us.
Men kill quick with a bullet or a noose, but their fight is with me, and I kill much slower.
This is absolutely wild. You're a hunter. You're famous.
Tell the world what happens when they cross me.
Greed will be the thing that kills us all.
Is you on the rainwater?
Come with me.
You're no god, Jacob Dutton!
You attack my family. It's gonna be the last thing you ever do.
Oh, that's the Kevin Costner's papa.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess Harrison Ford is
Papa
Kevin
Ford.
Costner's dad. Yeah, and
Papa
Tim,
Ford.
but Tim McGraw was Harrison Ford's dad.
Okay.
So
Well, that doesn't make any sense.
I don't know, man. I loved the Yellowstone show. I haven't watched the last
Sure.
season. It was a
I
good
kind
show.
of lost interest in it, but yeah, it was good. My grandpa's really excited for that show. He won't quit
Yeah.
talking about it.
It's a good
He
show. I
loved-
see. You know.
Well, it's the only Western on TV anymore for the man who only watches Westerns.
Yeah, I guess. Well,
So it's the
apparently
greatest
this
show
is-
in the world.
this
If
is
you
the
want to
season
talk
for your
to
grandpa.
a 94-year-old guy for hours, just bring up Yellowstone.
All right, here we go. Let's watch the next one.
I think what we have here in Hollywood is high art. It's
Party time! Sparkle time!
If you could go anywhere in the whole world, where would you go?
I always want to be part of something bigger.
Yes.
Let's go! Something that lasts, that means something.
You know, when I first moved to LA,
I got your face tattooed on my back.
you know what the signs on all the doors read? No actors or dogs allowed. I changed that.
Morning.
Good job for you.
I'll do anything.
That's the cocksucker they sent to screw us!
This bitch is stealing the scene right from under me. She's icing her nipples so they perk up through her dress. I ain't icing my nipples. This is natural. Where do you say we come in for my close-up now?
What are your thoughts for the future?
Shouldn't stand in the way of progress.
This is gonna be what it's gonna be.
Here's the twist.
The girl seems nice.
She is. She has no idea what's next.
There's a new sensibility now. People care about morals.
I've never done nothing except disappoint people my whole life. But I made it on my terms, not theirs. We are gonna be more than they ever bargained for.
What I do means something.
It's bigger than you.
And I'm going to bed.
That looks good.
Yeah, it does. It looks pretty good.
Tobey Maguire looks rough.
Having a day, that guy. Wow,
But,
yeah, he looks real rough.
Who directed that one?
That
Doesn't
one,
seem-
I didn't see it. We'll IMDb it. We'll take a look. But yeah, it's. I don't know much about. I didn't get much from the story there, but the trailer was made really well. It is
Man.
directed by Damien Chazelle.
And then what did he win an Academy Award winner? Award for? What did they say?
Find out. There he is, Damien Chazelle. He won. He wrote for La La
Whiplash.
Land, and he wrote
Oh.
for. He's a writer.
Whiplash? What did he do in Whiplash? I love that movie.
He wrote. He wrote it.
I like 10 Cloverfield Lane too.
Yeah.
What's that spaceship one?
That's The First Man. It's the Ryan
Okay.
Gosling playing Neil Armstrong. I love that movie.
Yeah.
It's a good movie.
Okay, cool. So he's got some good credits under in there.
Yeah. Yeah. That's it.
So that looks good.
Yeah, I think it's a good. I think it could
So
be
is this
pretty
his first directorial debut, or?
Yeah, it looks like it. I didn't think he's directed much. Let's see. He actually has 8 credits as director. Oh, he directed First Man. Oh, wow. Wait, what? He directed La La Land. He directed Whiplash.
Okay.
So yeah, he's got
That's what
some
he got his
pedigree.
Academy Award.
Yeah, he's got some Academy Awards. He's a pedigree guy. Okay,
that
so
movie
Babylon
looks
looks good. Let's give it a shot, huh? All right, let's move on to
All right.
the next one.
Whiplash was intense too, so I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. All right, here we go.
Remember that story about Cindy You-Know-Who? When her Christmas was stolen, she knew what to do.
Why, Santa Claus? Why?
But what if I said that's not how it went down?
You gonna be okay? Because we can turn around right now.
No. Poor girl. Her mother was killed. Her mind snapped.
Did you ever find the Christmas killer?
Never got a reliable description of the man.
The Grinch is.
He is out there! What if the Christmas killer is back?
This town cannot go through another Christmas killer thing. Not again.
Us folks down in Louisville, we liked Christmas a lot. But that thing that lives just north of Louisville does not.
What is it?
The mean one. He's slippery, he's elusive. He's a mean one, that mister.
I'm not gonna be a victim. Time to roast this beast.
She's getting ready, Rambo style.
Yeah, she's gonna be a badass.
On the line.
You're a dead one, mister.
I gotta cancel the Grinch. A horror parody in theaters.
Which ones?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we'll be watching that.
Yeah, that one looks rough. Okay, our last trailer of the night. It's the TV show on Netflix. Let's do this.
Yeah.
Hey, Grandma. Hey, Grandpa.
Okay, kids, the basement is all yours.
Lights on, shirts on, and no dancing.
No dancing. You're like the guy from Footloose. No dancing, you guys.
They go in my room. My foot goes in their ass.
You sweet man.
I think we should just say, whoa.
Get out.
See you soon.
Get out.
Don't be a stranger.
Get out.
Extra icing.
That was mine.
We never locked the sliding door.
We do now.
That could be fun.
Well, you know, Red and Kitty are gonna be fun.
I was hoping there would be more of the original cast in there.
I don't trust those new folks.
Yeah, these new kids.
I don't know about them. They better represent.
They better
The
represent.
90s.
Well, that's our trailers, the news for the week. There was one thing that I wanted to bring up, kind of non-video news, and apparently Marvel doesn't own the rights to Namor.
Okay.
Universal Studio does.
So then, how did they make that movie?
I guess they must have borrowed him, but there's question whether they can do a solo movie with him.
Yeah.
So.
Come on, man.
I don't know. They'll work it out with Spider-Man, so I guess they'll work it out, and I don't know how important it'll be to work it out. So, that's our news for the week. Let's move on to talk about the movie we're gonna watch next time. So. All right, everybody, we got the pick for next week out on streaming. What are we going to watch next week?
We're gonna watch
The Rock,
Black Adam,
taking an anti-hero view on Black Adam. So, all right, I'm into it. I mean, I was going to watch it anyway, so why not watch it for the show? Mike's already. You've watched it, you said? Twice, and he likes it. So, let me give it a watch, and we will come back and talk about it next week. So, please continue consideration all the movies that we mentioned, especially The Infernal Machine has been the biggest recommendation of the evening. So,
Gridlock. Great movie. Check that out. I really recommend it.
All right, and that's going to be it for us tonight, guys. For the Tim and Mike Show, I'm Tim. Go watch some movies, huh? Okay. All right, that was a good show.